There we go. Okay, so again, welcome and welcome back. So just want to briefly introduce myself, reiterate for people who were here the first two sessions. If anyone's new, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Chantal Dubuisson-Myllymaki, and I'm the co-founder of Threshold. Professionally, I have a master's in clinical psych and a doctorate in education, and I'm a certified parent educator. I've been serving the San Francisco Bay Area community for over 25 years, and mainly as a teacher, supporting people who take care of children. And on a personal note, I am first generation American born of two Caribbean parents, and I'm a native New Yorker. And also, I am a parent of two adults and a grandparent. So I'm really happy to be here to talk about child development. So keeping in mind that this is our third and final part of a series of 3 on child development. And just like was said earlier, if you are unable to come to any of the 2 prior sessions, that you can watch a recording of them on Alameda County First 5 YouTube channel. So for today, we're going to be reviewing our home exercises. If you're able to accept the invitation, and we'll go over the details in a moment. We'll also be finishing our look at the stages of development through Erickson's psychosocial model, which includes tasks that children have and how parents and caregivers can support children successfully through those tasks. And we'll be focusing on the 3rd stage, which is preschool age. We'll also be looking at temperament, which is another way that we could support children and understand how they develop. Then we'll look at some possible effects of the pandemic on child development, and then have questions and answers. We could, please feel free to ask questions throughout our time together, but I'll try to pause a little earlier for final questions, comments, and feedback, just in case you didn't get a chance to ask during our time together. And then you'll have an evaluation at the end, so please look out for that email, and we'll be ending at 3. So again, some objectives to keep in mind: to recognize 1 or 2 milestones of the preschool stage, and to identify 1 or 2 strategies to support and help children reach milestones at that preschool stage. And then when we talk about temperament, recognize at least 4 of the 9 temperamental traits. So please keep that in mind. And I'm looking at the chat. Thank you for the greeting. Hello, hello. Good afternoon, everyone. That's beautiful. Thank you. So to piggyback on what was said earlier, continue to please be respectful of each other. So we come from different backgrounds, different ideas, different ways that we might hold child development. So please continue to consider this as a chance to maybe hear another perspective. If someone says something, maybe think about it as, I've never thought of it that way. Okay. And of course, cell phones, we had talked about that earlier. And please keep shared information confidential. Now, again, this is being recorded, so just mind maybe if someone shares something personal, where you might discuss that information. even though we know it is recorded. So maybe not at the grocery store, right? So keep that in mind. And an equal voice for all participants, and people have been so wonderful to really share the space. So using chat is a wonderful way, but also if you'd like to raise your hand or say something out loud, just want to welcome that also, but just keeping in mind if two people are talking at the same time. So is there anything that needs to be added to this list to help you feel more comfortable today? And reflecting on all the time that we spent together. Okay, so again, if anything comes to mind, it's never too late to add to this guideline to help you feel more comfortable. Okay, so let's check in and let's go back to that invitation I was talking about for home practice. So if you were at the end of last week's training, you received an invitation to observe children in your lives based on what we had talked about that day. So reflect on what you might have noticed in regards to culture and parenting, aspects of Erickson's psychosocial model of attachment, of autonomy in infants and in early childhood, and reflect on maybe what did you consider to support the development of secure attachment or a child's autonomy? Or what did you do to support children to achieve their tasks of the first and second stages of development? Does anyone feel comfortable sharing what came up for you? Again, no pressure, only if you're comfortable. No? Okay.
I'll share something.
Okay.
I just observed a family during the week that was very specific with their 1 year old about how long they were gone for. And this was more in a frustrating manner where she would say, I'm only gone for 3 minutes or 5 minutes. And she, it's like screaming, and I'm only in the next room. So just kind of letting her know that they don't have a sense of time just yet.
Mm-hmm.
So just because she says 3 or 5 minutes and she understands it as mom that for the baby it means nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It will be more realistic to say, hey, while this song is playing, I'm gonna wash the dishes. You can still see me from far away, but I'll wash a couple dishes while the song is playing or something like that. And when the song is over, I'll come closer to you or something like that. So yeah,
Yes.
just presenting realistic expectations for the parent and the age of their child, and
Yes.
touching a little bit on attachment.
Yes. So thank you so much. That child had an attachment with their parent. And when they were out of sight, right, where's my secure base? And 3 to 5 minutes to us can feel like a lifetime for children. So I like how you had reframed and consider a child's perspective of time. So they're not going to be looking at the clock, right? But maybe, while the song is playing, or, when the song is over, you'll see me again, or, using some reference that they can understand, right? Or you could peek around the corner, or when you hear the water turn off, then I'll be back, right? Or maybe even having a song play or something that they could relate to time from their perspective. Thank you. That's beautiful. Anybody else? Maybe something they observed, or maybe something that they're considered from what they heard last week, like, I never thought of it that way. Okay. Well, again, if something comes up, just let me know. Sometimes like, oh, wait a minute, you're talking about this. That reminds me of this, and that's okay. Okay. So keep that in mind, always open. So let's come in to this space together and let's do a relaxation activity. Well, we did one the first week where we did something playful, head and shoulders, knees and toes. Last week we did something grounding in mindfulness, right? So these you can use for yourself if you feel comfortable sharing them, if people are open with caregivers you're working with, and they could even pass it on to their children, right? So these are kind of easy, fun ways to self-care and could do so much for us. So this is a cleansing breath. And I'm going to ask you to reflect on how you feel now. And then again after. Okay. So for this, let me describe the whole activity to see if you want to participate. Because remember, you always have a right to pass. But I'd like you to give it a try if you feel comfortable. So this is a mini activity, cleansing breath. And mini, keeping that in mind, you could make it as long or as short as you want, depending on where you are and the time that you have. And you could do mini activities, relaxation activities anywhere. Okay. So for this one, it involves breathing. Breathing in through your nose, breathing out first gently through your mouth, and then forcefully. Okay. So I just want to tell you the whole kit and caboodle so you could decide if you want to do it or not. So I'm going to use these props just to illustrate, but you could use your imagination. Okay. So when you breathe in, I'm going to ask you to breathe into the count of 6 through your nose and imagine that you're smelling a delicious fruit or a beautiful flower. Okay. So breathe in deeply through your nose. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now breathe out gently through your mouth as if you're blowing out a candle, but only so that it flickers. 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's try that one more time. Breathe in through your nose. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Imagine that flower. And breathe out gently through your mouth, flickering your candle in your imagination, but not quite blowing it out. Now, let's do that again, but this time we're going to blow out forcefully. Okay? So breathe in through your nose again. Smell that fruit or flower. 3, 4, 5, 6. And now blow out the candle forcefully. Blowing out, visualizing all tension and stress blowing away. Let's try that last one again. Breathe in. 3, 4, 5, 6. Gather all your tension, stress, and blow out forcefully. There. All right. So now, how was that for you? If you feel comfortable sharing, how was that? Seems like people want to remain in reflection, and that's okay. Okay. See, some people might be typing. So with that mini activity, oh, I see a thumb up. Thank you. So again, changing the way you breathe intentionally could take some practice. But note how that mini relaxation, you could use prompts or again, your imagination. You could use that anywhere. You don't have to close your eyes, right? You could use it, maybe practice at work before you go in to see a client, or maybe coming home, maybe first thing in the morning. Mind if you're driving, because I want you to focus on driving. But if you're in traffic and feel, maybe you could do that breathing activity. And again, it's something you could pass on. So maybe joining other people in your family or inviting parents to do it with you if they choose. And maybe they could pass it on to their children, because that's kind of a fun one. Okay. Right. I think hopefully people are feeling a little more relaxed. Just let me know. And thank you for the thumb up. So let's move forward. That's okay. Make sure I'm not missing any comments. So, as we mentioned, the purpose of the series is to review the first three stages of child development, psychosocial development. And during last week's training, we reviewed the first two, infancy and early childhood. And again, to reiterate, this lens focuses on tasks that children have at each stage. And when children manage to achieve that particular task, they can leave that stage in a positive way. And we also mentioned the part that's so wonderful is that parents and caregivers can support children through those particular tasks. So this week, we're focusing on the third stage. In the third stage of development, the basic conflict or task for ages 3 to 5 years old is initiative, that can do, right? What can I do? So the prior two stages, children were developing attachment in infancy, and in early childhood, developing autonomy. Who am I, right? And now the start of what can I do, right? So it's initiative versus guilt. And we're going to talk about those two. So some of the tasks to discover their personal capabilities, as I mentioned, and then continue to develop physically, emotionally, cognitively, and language, and to learn about social roles and norms, and also to communicate and interact appropriately with others. Okay. So looking at personal capabilities, children at this stage, they are really exploring. So what will we see? We're going to see them really uncovering what they can do. They're going to try all kinds of activities like dressing themselves, putting their shoes on, combing their hair, pouring liquids. They're going to try all kinds of activities. So that's what we're going to see when they are trying these activities. We know they're in this third stage of development. really discovering what they can do. That's so exciting. And what you might hear is, I can do it, I do it, right? So that lets you know that they're really exploring what they can do and discovering their capabilities. So they start becoming more and more independent little by little. They'll demonstrate some assertiveness by directing play and other social interactions. So you might hear, hey, let's play, right? Maybe time to build forts with the sofa cushions, maybe some imaginary cooking, right? Serving food, maybe building with different materials, cups, right? Maybe blocks, building and having some imaginative play. So they could also make games up, right? So again, just exploring what they can do. And that's so exciting. And then also, children are continuing their physical, emotional, cognitive, and language development. And let's look at some highlights. And I'm going to show you a prop. So we had two props before. So this is our older child. Okay. So again, you could look at some specific details highlighted on the CDC, the Center for Disease and Control and Prevention website. And that's going to be provided to you at the end of this training when you receive the PowerPoints and some handouts. So look forward to those. But just to highlight some aspects of the 3-year-old, 4-year-old, and the 5-year-old. And again, we're going to have my helper here. So one thing that you might notice cognitively is they could draw a circle. Right? So here's a pencil and oh my gosh, that's so nice. Right, when shown how to do it. You're really quick. They could also avoid touching hot objects. So again, cognitive brain development, such as a stove, when warned, right? But don't rely on that. Don't leave them alone. But they could begin to understand that might be dangerous, right? They also might start to understand the concept of mine, hers, his, right? So again, we could, when we witness children demonstrating these behaviors, we could understand that, okay, they're developing. So some social emotional development, children can calm down, maybe after the caregiver leaves. So maybe if they're going to preschool, so upset, and maybe you, as their secure attachment figure, might say, I'll be back. Maybe give them a picture or something to remember you, or again, maybe setting up a routine. And then when you come back, letting them know, maybe after you sleep, wake up, maybe after they play this music, that's when I'll be back, right? So they could feel better within maybe 10 minutes. They might notice other children. So let's use our other. Oh, so other children are playing, and they might notice other children and might join and play with them. Okay. So again, show interest in interacting with other children. And they might become uncomfortable or anxious with major changes in routine. So again, the development of anticipation and what comes next. So when we notice that, we know children are growing and developing. So some physical, motor development, able to insert. Oh boy, objects onto thread. You did a good job. Like large beads, cereal, or in this case, beginning to do a macaroni necklace. Might be able to put some clothes on alone, such as maybe loose pants or a jacket, right? So something easy. And also might be able to use a fork, safety fork, like this one, right, to feed self. Nice, good job. And with language, can talk to a caregiver using 2 or more phrases, right? So back and forth 2 times, and maybe ask questions with who, what, where, and why. So for example, where's mom and dad? And when asked, can say the action that's occurring in a book. Right? So looking at a book together. So maybe can say some actions such as running, eating, playing, right? And they could also say their name when asked, right? What's your name? Nadina. And also can speak well enough for other people outside the family to understand most of the time. So again, family, we could learn what children mean, but begin other people outside the family to understand what they're saying more and more. Okay, so again, these are some highlights. Let's look at the 4-year-old. Oh, someone have a question?
Yeah, I was gonna say, so for children with speech delay, is it towards this age where we should be more concerned or be more observant of that, or?
Oh, so that's a good point. So we're going to talk about delays in a moment, but
Okay.
looking at the CDC and again, keeping the balance that children are unique, but also if these are, milestones, if they're not reaching some of these milestones, when to be concerned. So 1 or 2 milestones, but maybe if there's a few, maybe be concerned, but always trust your instincts and talk to your pediatrician, right? So it's like, I'm concerned about this. So maybe the pediatrician say, give it some time, or let me give you a referral. Yeah. Did I answer your question? Thank you. So
sorry,
again,
sorry to interrupt. Just want to make sure I understood. So 1
yeah.
or 2 milestones altogether, or in each area?
Okay. So when we're going to talk about reasons to be concerned. So let's say your child has maybe 1 or 2 milestones. Let's say you notice some of the developmental indicators that maybe they're not babbling, right? At 6 months, maybe they're not doing a few of these milestones, and this is just some summary. Then, but they might be have other milestones, right? So again, talking to your primary care about your concerns. So it could be in one area, it could be in a few areas, like they're doing some, but not others. So in this example, you had mentioned speech. So maybe, social emotionally, they're playing, they're comforting others. Oh, this is the 4-year-old now. Let me go back to the 3-year-old. So maybe cognitively, social, emotionally. They're maybe showing some signs of development, but maybe language. So again, keeping that in mind and talking to your primary care physician. Or if they're having some concerns in a variety of categories, again, talk to your primary care physician, saying, I'm seeing this, but I'm not seeing this. Should I be concerned? Right. So I'm going to give you a link for the CDC and looking at some of the milestones that we talk about. This is just a summary, but using the indicators plus how you might feel, and also Help Me Grow is one of the resources we're going to provide, can help you to to follow up with your concerns. If you are concerned, it's good to just check it out, right? It's good to check it out and encourage parents that you might be working with to check it out, right? Because research shows some indicators, but also parents are experts of their own children, right? So, okay, I'm seeing this, this, and this, but not this. Check it out. Did that answer your question? Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, Leah. So the Help Me Grow phone number is there in the chat. And also we're going to review some other apps that you can put on your phone and share with parents and caregivers you work with. So keep all those in mind. And this resource is also at the end of our PowerPoint. So in the resources. Okay. Yeah, thank you. This helps a lot to share the info. Okay, thank you. Thank you. So again, thanks for your questions. So some aspects of 4-year-old just to keep in mind. And again, this is a summary. There's more details on the CDC's website. So saying some colors cognitively, able to say what's next in a story that they might know well, right? So when children want to hear stories over and over and over again, we might think, oh my goodness, but that's a sign that they're developing cognitively. And so after hearing stories over and over again, they might know what's next. And that's a sign of growth, right? They also might be able to draw people, right? With 1 or 2, or maybe 3 or more body parts, right? So begin to draw at 4 years old. And then social and emotional development, they can imagine being someone else or something else when they play. So for example, they might start to envision being a superhero, right? Or being a teacher or a cat or a dog. So when you see that development, you see that imagination coming, then you know they're developing socially, emotionally. They might ask to play with a friend that's not around. Like, can I play with Alex? Oh, okay. So again, searching and connecting with with friends and searching for those interactions. They might even start comforting others that they might see hurt or sad, right? So there's a sad teddy bear and might comfort them or even pretend to, right? Start to avoid more and more dangers, like maybe not jumping from a high place in the playground. And this is something else to keep in mind with 4-year-olds. They love to be a helper, right? So sometimes parents and caregivers might say, oh, they're always trying to help. But that's a great thing, right? Trying to help and assign, like you could, maybe be your job is to put napkins on the table, right? Or help mom, dad sort socks, right? That's beautiful to start those contribution to the family early and not push them away. Right? So again, what can they do, right? Maybe even pouring and serving food with adult supervision. Whoops, excuse me. Let me get back to this. Changes behavior depending on the place. So for example, location. So maybe at religious sites might know to act differently than in the library, than in the playground, or in like a public arena or audience. Physically, can grab a ball when thrown at them most of the time. Food or water can be served with adult supervision. So again, maybe having some cups that they can hold and that are plastic in case they might fall. So helping them. I'm going to ask how to support them in a moment. So increase development of fine motor skills. So able to unbutton some buttons, hold a crayon or a pencil between their finger and a thumb more and more. And then language, form sentences with 4 or more exchanges back and forth. And then say some words of a song, story, or nursery rhyme. So again, that repetition, you could see that it's helping develop their language. Talk about at least one thing that happened during their day. So maybe I played football. And then can answer some simple questions like, what's a coat for? Or what's a crayon for? Okay, so when we see those, we know they're developing. And then now the 5-year-old. So again, there's so much in development, trying to just summarize. So maybe you could notice cognitively, they're counting to 10 and maybe saying some numbers between 1 and 5. So here's my helper again, looking at those numbers. When the caregiver points them out and uses words to denote time, like yesterday, morning, night, can pay attention for 5 or 10 minutes when you're reading a story to them or doing an activity together, right? But screen time doesn't count, right? So again, something that we're doing interaction, because screen time is depicted to really grab your attention. So we're talking about other activities. Can write some letters of their name. For example, her name is Nadina. I did a great job writing some letters of your name, and says some letters when pointing them out. Like, what's that letter? A. So helpful. Social emotional development can follow rules and take turns when playing games with other children, right? So again, thinking about taking turns, again, waiting your turn, having patience, right? Simple directions that shows social emotional development. Sings, dances, performs for themselves, right? So again, doing that, having creativity, seeing, memorizing some aspects of songs, and having that connection. And again, some household chores that can help you. We can work together. Understanding that we all have a part to play in the family. So some simple chores that can be helpful, like sorting socks, right? Can help you with that. Or clearing the table after eating. And then other physical and motor development, button some buttons, hopping on one foot. And then with language, can tell stories that they've heard or made up, including at least 2 events. So let's say a cat that couldn't come down from a tree and the firefighter had to save it. So 2 events. And answering some simple questions about a story after hearing it. Having a conversation with more than 3 exchanges. And uses or recognizes some simple rhymes like cat, hat, mouse, house. Okay. So again, when we see these attributes in ages 3, 4, and 5, then we know they're developing. Okay. Thank you. I'm going to put you over here. So again, the next, one of the other tasks is to learn about social roles and norms. So children at this stage begin to learn about norms. They're interested in the world around them, and they pay attention to members of their family, but also to adults and children who are outside of the family. And they ask a lot of questions. They're thirsting for knowledge, right? So for example, they might notice differences, boys, girls, male, female, and not necessarily sexual, but saying, how come some, guys have hair here, I notice, or, how come people use the toilet differently, right? So they might notice those differences in different people in their life. So adults in their life, if they treat these questions as trivial, annoying, embarrassing, then that can start the feeling guilty part, right? So trying to discover what they can do, understand the world around them more and more. And again, how we respond can help them successfully through the stage or unsuccessfully, right? So thinking about our response. And in their learning, they start imitating adults and older children. So when dad vacuums, they want to vacuum too. Granny washes the dishes, they want to wash the dishes. Big brother or sister doing the homework on the computer, they want to do it too. Right? Putting on makeup, oh, they want to do it too. Or shaving, they want to try it too. Right? So in that process of role imitating, they're also learning how to interact appropriately with others and discover what behaviors are appropriate and what behaviors are not. Right? So also, you're going to see maybe more tantrums, right? And thinking about tantrums are a sign of being overwhelmed with feelings, right? Everything is growing, want to do what you see other adults and children do, and maybe having a hard time. So that could be frustrating. So you might see tantrums at this stage too. So more on initiative and guilt. So when children at this stage are given an opportunity to do things for themselves and to really explore different roles, they can develop initiative, as I mentioned, feel confident more and more in developing their decision making. But controversially, if their attempts are criticized, denied, right, they could develop that sense of guilt. So children, might, again, you're trying to vacuum and here they are, vacuuming too, or trying to get things together, typing on the computer, here they are trying to type too. So just being mindful, just in their quest for knowledge, they might cross lines. So danger in caregivers is you might tend to punish or restrict them, right? Might just say, you're too small to do this, right? You're going to break it. You're not going to be able to do it. So again, if they're treated like their attempts are bad, or if it's threatening, that's when they can start developing that sense of guilt and maybe feeling like they're a nuisance. Okay. So now let's think about discovering capabilities. Again, the growing in different, 4 different areas, learning social roles and norms, and learning to communicate and interact. Given what we just talked about, reflect, how can caregivers, parents, help children complete the tasks of this stage and come out feeling that, yes, I have some initiative coming out in a positive way? What are some ways that you can think about? You could say it out loud or in the chat.
Always in a play form, or always
So,
introducing it to them in a play form?
yeah, so again, children learn through play. If you could involve as many senses as possible. So making things playful, right? And maybe so, okay, wow, I noticed that whenever I vacuum, here they come wanting the vacuum too. So maybe getting a small vacuum that they can do it alongside of you, for example, right? And it might even make chores fun because you have your helper and you can understand, wow, they're really developing. They're imitating what I'm doing. Thank you. Anything else that stands out for you? Okay. So consider these. So consider allowing children to do things for themselves. So maybe setting up success. So that involves too, maybe creating a safe space that they can explore. So that might mean having cups, plates, right? That might not be breakable, that they can explore serving, setting table. Or let's say your child wants to pour, right? They want to pour just like they see you doing, milk, juice. So maybe instead of having a gigantic 300-gallon of water or of milk, maybe having something small that they can be successful and maybe at the bottom of the fridge where they can reach it, right? So having items that they can be successful, helping setting up their environment to succeed, right? And maybe having some towels handy. So, oh, when we spill, we just wipe it up, right? So they could feel like, okay, everybody does this. And look at this picture, this woman and her child, right? So hey, hand me the white shirts, right? Can you help me out? Maybe having them on a stool so they can reach and see what's inside and help them to do things for themselves. Oh, can you pick out these dirty clothes and hand them to me? Right, so helping them to be successful. And remember, they still need supervision. So they need supervision at home, in the park, in the street. 3, 4, 5-year-olds, even though they're growing and developing, they're still children. So supervise them and help keep them safe and communicate safety. And again, letting them do simple tasks like putting napkins on the table, clothes in the machine, maybe papers in the trash. And since they love to help, assigning them a job. Right? Your job is to put the clips on the potato chips, right? When we eat snack, and that can help develop their fine motor more and more. Or your job is to put all the napkins on the table, please, and then collect all the napkins and put them in the trash. Right? So can help them to find ways to be part of the house. And that can help them develop that sense of initiative. Then model ways to express feelings. So their imagination takes off. And also sometimes challenging behaviors. So frustration, tantrums, like, oh, I can't do this. So helping them to name their feelings, right? Helping them to name them more and more so they could act them out less. Just say, I'm frustrated. Say, oh, wow, you seem frustrated right now. So they could learn to name those feelings. And also maybe role play, so, let's try that again. If we hold it this way, do you think you might pour easily? So help them role play. Now, let's try it this way. Let's try it that way, and really practice with them. And then encourage them when they face challenges and frustrations, like we said. So encourage them. Show them maybe a way to pour in different ways. If they spill, that's okay. Maybe highlight, oh, I spilled something. And this is what we do when we spill. This is what we do when things break, right? And then safety, if there's glass, call mom, right, or dad. But this is what we do. So helping them and encourage them, hey, let's try it again. And provide opportunities for them to develop their indicators, right? So their growth, developmental indicators, take them out, go to different experiences, libraries, beach if you can, run, jump. So help them grow and develop their muscles, right? Opportunities to build the 4 areas of development. And don't forget to establish routines, to maintain a schedule, and rituals can increase a sense of security and help them to expect what's going to be next. So like what we said earlier, maybe a time where there might be something maybe out of sight, like when washing the dishes. You might say, oh, so I tend to wash dishes. Remember, after this song plays, right, then we're going to do this. Or, yeah, mom's going to wash the dishes, and then after, or dad, and after, then we're going to play this game, right? So dishes comes first, then we have reading time, or we play this time. So help them to establish what's going to happen next by having routines. And then model appropriate behaviors, as we mentioned. So since they're learning, they're copying our roles and what we do, this is a great opportunity, right? So I can behave in the way I'd like them to behave too, right? So be that kind of a role model. And I remember one of my good friends, she wanted her children to drink more milk, right? So more healthy foods, more milk. So the best way is to drink more milk herself. So her and her partner started drinking milk at dinner time. Guess what the result was? Beautiful skin, nice hair for the whole family. So role modeling the behaviors that you want, right? And wow, we might benefit too. Right? So and explaining what you expect from them. So we wash our hands before we eat. We brush our teeth in the morning and before we sleep. So explain what you expect. And when possible, giving some options of what you want to happen. So you might say something like, it's time to make some healthy food choices. Do we want the apple or the pear? They might say, I want that juicy donut. Say, well, we're doing healthy food choices right now, right? Apple or pear. So giving them choices can help them to have choices, that experience later in life when they are going to have to make choices without us being there. So practicing all along can help them to feel confident in my choices. And then also manners like saying good morning, good afternoon, thank you, right? So demonstrate being a role model and what you'd like. So again, as I mentioned, when children begin to assert control and power over their environment and feel success at this stage, they can develop a good sense of initiative and also a sense of purpose, right? So that's the virtue. And again, having too much disapproval over their curiosity. So maybe even saying something like, I really appreciate, let's do this instead. So, oh, dad wants the vacuum now. Let me do a couple of pushes and then it's your turn, right? Instead of straight up, no, leave me alone, let me do this, right? So now it's your turn, right? So finding a way to encourage that developmental stage and helping them develop initiative instead of a sense of guilt. Okay. So I want to talk about what came up. And again, I might have answered your question, but just in case, just want to reiterate. So again, you could look at the CDC milestone tracker, and I'm going to give you a link to that in a moment. And then also the Help Me Grow. So if a child is not reaching, right, possible signs of delay at any age. So we talked about newborn to 5. So not reaching developmental indicators at each stage. So again, if they're not babbling at 6 months, maybe not sitting up alone at 11 to 13 months, maybe at age 2, not combining words or not playing or using imagination at age like 12 months. So if there's only one aspect in each or in a one of the developmental areas, right? But they do many other of the developmental milestones. They might just be lacking in that particular area at the moment, right? But again, talking to your primary care physician for your concerns, that is one of the best things to do, right? And I think childcare physicians, they love that interaction because they're supporting your child's development too, right? So having that conversation. And if there's a strong parent or caregiver concern, so for people working with parents and caregivers, paying attention to your instinct as a parent and as what the parents are saying. So if there's something worrisome, please, again, check in with physicians and the link, the CDC link that's going to be on the next slide. So you can find a checklist based on your baby's age, and you can complete some steps, and they talk about how, what to do, like talking to your doctor. And this is also going to be a handout for you. If there's a lack of response to visual, sound, or stimuli, right? So that can be something to be concerned about. Poor interaction with adults or other children, right? So maybe doesn't smile 3 to 4 months, maybe doesn't point or recognize maybe their name 14 to 15 months, or maybe not play again with imagination like we talked about. Those might be areas to talk to your doctor. Or if there's a difference in strength or movement in body tone between right and left sides of the body, or loose or stiffness, right, or tense movements, those are areas to consider. So here's what I was talking about. So again, the CDC has a milestone tracker. It's an app that people can put on their phone. It's called Let's Follow the Development. And that's something that can be reassuring, right? So it reviews the guidelines that the CDC puts out, the Center for Disease and Control and Prevention. And also consult your pediatrician, as I mentioned, Help Me Grow. And then another app to consider is Vroom. So that has access to over 1,000 free activities from your computer or tablet. It's a free app. You can also put it on your phone. And it has activities to foster brain development. Okay. So again, Vroom helps develop brain development more, give you some ideas and activities you can do. And the CDC tracker helps to notice the guidelines, right? So again, when we talk about milestones, we're talking about guidelines, right? So again, to help you understand what to look for, but also talk to your pediatrician about what you might be concerned about. And I mentioned pediatrician also, right? You could talk to teachers, childcare providers. If you're a childcare, someone that works with children, maybe talking to your team, right? So building a group of good counsel that can support you. You're not alone, okay? Are there any further questions or comments about concerns? And thank you for asking. I hope that answered your question.
Could you mention again what Vroom is about?
Yeah, so Vroom, let's see. So it's an app that you can download, and it can help, it has activities to boost brain development. So it has over 1,000 activities free that you can use anytime. So maybe adding to bath time, bedtime, and they're all designed to boost brain development. Okay, and it's free. That's something that you can use and share. Has anybody heard about Vroom before? Or maybe used it? No? Okay. How about the CDC Milestone Tracker app? Anybody use that? No? All
I
right.
just oh sorry.
Go ahead.
I
No,
just
please.
checked out Room right now and it's really cool so far what I'm seeing, and you can adjust it to ages that you prefer, or like if you have children you can adjust it to that, and it looks like really simple little tasks that you could, not tasks but activities that you can do. So thank you for that. I did not know about this before.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. People are so quick. I'm so glad you're able to access it so fast. And thank you for the endorsement. So yeah, please use it and share it. And thank you for the immediate feedback. Thank you for checking. Anything else?
I'm looking at the other one, the CDC one.
Yeah.
And one of the questions, and I don't know if it's just kind of like to keep track of which child you want to know about, but it asks about if the child is a boy or a girl. Is there any topic or any milestones that we might see earlier in boys or girls, or later in boys or girls?
You know, that's a very good question. You know, I think that sometimes there's an overall thought of boys and girls developing faster, slower, or having more energy or not. And that's it's interesting that it asked that the first thing, but I think also that there's a lot of uniqueness. So there might be something down the road, but I can't think of anything offhand. And let me just say this as an example of why. I have two boys. My adult children are boys, are men now. And, people have that stereotype of boys being more active. And it could be the release of testosterone in their bodies, maybe. But my boys are really mellow. Okay, they're very, very mellow. And so again, there's an overall expectation, genetic makeup, different hormones, testosterone, estrogen release, but still it has a unique play in how it affects us uniquely, right? So one time my older son had fallen and he had to get stitches. And what the interesting part about that is when we were in the emergency room, he was probably about 6 or 7. People kept commenting, going by and commenting, oh, your son needs stitches. Well, boys will be boys. Well, boys will be boys. And it was like, that's interesting. And I remember even he said, Mom, why do people keep saying that to me? Boys will be boys. What is that supposed to mean? So we talked about, some of the stereotypes, some expectation, but again, I'm not sure why it asked that, but maybe just to keep in mind, I can't think of any developmental milestones that are particular for boys or girls, but that's a good question. Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
And then along those lines, there is they're all important, but is it the 18-month that there's something that we can catch at that 18-month ASQ that we might not? Is there a reason why the 18-month is a little bit more special or more important than the others?
That's a good question. Well, with the Erickson's stages of development, that's a cutoff. So it's newborn to 18 months, not necessarily, I can't think of anything in particular, but it doesn't stop at 12 months. It's newborn to 18 months and then 18 months to 3, right? So I can't think of anything in particular. That's
Okay.
why 18 months. Does it really highlight that in the tracker?
No, this is something that I had heard somewhere else.
Well, there's different areas of development that occur at different stages, but I can't think of anything in particular because growth happens throughout all the stages of development.
Got it. Okay.
Did anybody else
Thank you.
hear anything about that? Maybe I missed something. Anybody else maybe heard something about that? Again, let's please share the wealth of knowledge. No? Okay. Well, something I'm going to keep in mind. Thank you. I'm going to research that myself. And researching for this presentation or these presentations, nothing like that stood out. But now you got me curious. So I'm gonna check it out. Thank you. Thank you for highlighting that. Anything else? Thank you. Those are some great questions, and I hope those resources are helpful. And thank you for checking them out so quickly. So before we take a break, we're going to change gears a little bit and talk about temperament. Okay. So with temperament, what I'd like you to consider doing an activity while you're on break, but thinking about temperament, right? So we talked about child development and being able to recognize behaviors that children have at different stages and looking at what adults can do. So something else that influences children's behavior is temperament. Okay. So before we go into temperament of children, what I'd like you to do is think about these questions as they might relate to you. Oh, someone said, I used to see, let me just read what Diane wrote out loud. I used to see stereotyped behaviors for boys and girls in preschool settings, but people are becoming more aware of the importance of allowing experimentation. So the sex stereotype behaviors are no longer so rigid, but some cultures discourage experimentation in non-traditional activities. Yes, yes. That stereotype, I know that happened with my son with boys and girls and development. And that also happened to my son when we were at some setting and he was playing with dolls. And someone said, "Oh my gosh, you can't allow him to play with dolls." And I was like, "Why not? I want him to be a good father one day." So that it was a father, and he said, "Well, I've never played with dolls and I'm a good father." And I was like, "Well, that's something I need to observe." I really don't know what kind of dad you are, but my son is going to play with dolls. And my son actually, it's Kale, he's 24 now and he has 2 children and he is a good father. So I don't know if it's the dolls, but just saying. So anyway, yes, boys playing mommy in the house, girls who love cross-motor athletic behaviors. Yeah. So again, I'm so glad that you highlighted that, Diane, because a lot of times people can see the individual, right? Instead of social gender pressures and restrictions, who are we as people, right? What are our likes, dislikes? So hopefully we keep on going on that trend. So thank you. So now let's go back to temperament for a moment. So I'm going to ask you to think about this for yourself, right? So answer these questions. You don't have to write the answer in the chat, but just reflect for yourself, because this might let you know about your temperament. So do you prefer to do crafts or play sports or do something more active? You're invited to a party where you don't really know many people. When you arrive, do you meet with all the guests or first maybe stay in the corner, have a drink, watch who's there, and then start talking to people? Do you enjoy roller coasters? Do you like to be surprised with parties or trips? Do you laugh out loud or kind of quietly chuckle to yourself? Okay, so these questions might alert you to your temperament. So let's take a quick break, if you don't mind, maybe a 5-minute break. And when we come back, we're going to switch gears and talk about temperament. So I'll see you back at 2:20. Okay, so in thinking about how you answered those questions, let's talk about temperament and what it is. So, and keep that in mind after we go through temperament in children. So temperament is an innate attribute. It's a biological basis that defines a child's approach to the world and their interaction with the environment through 9 dimensions or traits, right? And so temperament influences a child's behavior, their interaction with others, and reaction to different situations. So that could explain why this picture. So let's say you go to the park with 2 of your children, and one of your children takes off and climbs and joins the group, right, with all those other kids. And the other child just wants to play with some leaves and looking at some rocks and plays by themselves before they join the group, or just might remain by themselves. That's temperament. So there are 9 different temperament dimensions: activity, distractibility, intensity, regularity, sensitivity, initial reaction, adaptability, persistence, and mood. And each child is born with their own combination of these traits. And these traits were considered that they were stable, right? that they never change, but latest scientific research says they can change, because some children, as they grow and develop, so maybe the core temperament might remain the same, but the way they express their temperament might change. Okay. And that change can be because of environment. So maybe family environment, or different outer or inner culture, right? So our core temperament might be what we're born with, but the expression of it can change. And thinking that there's 9 characteristics, it's very likely that the combination of traits that our children have might be different from ours, right? And also with each other. So there could be some very unique combinations. So thinking about temperament is like a personal map that we're born with. And the characteristics are not good or bad, they just are. That's just the way we are, right? So, for example, in the original example, a child that jumps in and warms up immediately, it's not better than someone who takes time to warm up. It's just who you are, right? So another thing about temperament is that it can help with predictability. So let's say if your child has a lot of high activity level, then you could probably expect they're going to be active when you go home, when you go to the park, when you're in the doctor's office, and you can kind of prepare for those different areas. And so sending the message that, you're okay. I can prepare and parent you to fit your needs. So let's begin and break down each. And what we're going to do is thinking about it's a range, the dimensions or traits are a range of high and low. And so we're going to talk about the extreme, but then understand that children could be anywhere in the middle. So beginning with activity level, that refers to the overall level of motor activity when a child is awake or asleep, right? So high activity level, they not only do they like to move, they have to move, right? It's difficult to stay still for a long time. They don't just walk, they jump. When they sleep, they might twist all the blankets in a bunch. They climb on chairs, sofa, trees, right? High activity level. Low activity level, prefer quieter activities, maybe putting a puzzle together, board games, right? So in thinking about activity level, again, there's a range at the far end and everywhere in between. What do they need? All right, so again, changing our perspective, what does this child need? So high activity level, they need an opportunity to use up their energy, right? So pay attention to their signs that they need a release of energy. Help them use their energy, anticipating maybe a time where you might be restricted, maybe going to a park before you have to go to the doctor's office, or parking a block away and jumping, right, before you get to your appointment, so that they could use some of that energy up. And then children with low activity level might need some time to maybe complete a task and to have some time to themselves. Distractibility.
Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, yes.
Previous slide, it says when awake or asleep. Can you explain sleep?
Yeah. So when they're asleep, again, they might toss and turn when you sleep. So some people might sleep in one space, and some with high activity level might even toss and turn when they sleep, right? So maybe start at one end of the bed and go to the other end of the bed. right? So that includes awake and sleep. Did that answer your question?
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So thinking about distractibility, so high distraction, right, refers to the ease in which one can be distracted, level of concentration and attention. So high distraction, they notice everything, very perceptive. Let's say even a baby that might be breastfeeding and someone walks by, they're distracted, right? So high distraction, maybe in the park where your child's maybe racing against someone, all of a sudden a bird flies by and now they're chasing after the bird, right? Low distraction, able to finish a game or a task. And even though other people are putting away everything, they're still focusing, right? So high distraction, what do they need? They need few distractions, brief instructions. So maybe turning off the TV, sitting away from a window, maybe one direction at a time, and maybe a special cue to get back on track. Low distraction, they might need a signal to change activities because they're so focused, right? So my son, Kale, to continue his example, he was always in his thoughts. And so I would sing to him like, Kale, and that would help him. That was his cue that, what? And so helping him to change activities, like we're doing something else now, right? So helping them, thinking about what they might need. Now, intensity refers to positive or negative reactions. So refers to the energy level of emotional response and expression. High intensity, right? This child might cry so loud that the neighbors can hear, right? Or when he laughs, falls out of the chair, bangs his foot and right? Everything is intense, right? They might shout instead of whisper. Low intensity, when they cry, maybe people can't even hear them. They might just put their shoulders and you see tears falling and maybe laugh low. So again, this is extreme and it could be anywhere in the middle. So thinking about too what they need. High intensity might need some help to regulate themselves. Help them to calm down. Listen to them, give them words to express their feelings. Maybe calming exercises, maybe a nice heavy blanket, right? And also we could advocate. We could let people know that they're very expressive, right? So they're not negatively labeled as drama or exaggerating. And then for low intensity, really pay attention to their nonverbal language because it might be hard to catch their cues, right? So they might not always show what's happening to them. So again, thinking about my son, Kalehi, very quickly, I remember he would say something like, Mom, my ear hurts. That's it. And I was like, wait, your ear hurts? So because I know him, took him to the doctor, he had 2 full-blown ear infections. But all he said was, my ear hurts, right? So knowing their cues and paying attention. Regularity relates to predictability in biological functions like eating, sleeping. So high, very regular, it's almost as if the children have a clock inside of their body, right? Naps the same time every day, ask for food around the same time. They can be very predictable. And that could also mean going to the restroom, the potty at the same time. They might be easier to potty train because you could tell pretty much when they're going to go to the bathroom. Irregular, again, the child might not adapt to schedules, meals, using the bathroom, Today they might wake up at 10. Tomorrow they might wake up at 8. Maybe at dinner time, they're maybe not hungry. Time to go to sleep, they're not sleepy. So what do they need, right? So both regular, they need routines, right? Help them manage their routine and help develop flexibility. So maybe if you have an appointment, carrying some extra food in your purse, right? Or maybe not making appointments during their nap time because they're regular. For irregular, being flexible, right? Help them follow the family's rules. So even though they might not be tired, right? Just lay down because it is bedtime. Go to bed. Or mealtime, I'm not hungry. Well, you don't have to eat, but sit at the table with the family. So with sensitivity, describes how one responds to physical stimuli like light, sound, movement, touch. Looking at this picture, highly sensitive children, right? Sounds might be overwhelming. Laughing, firefighters going by. Maybe they feel like vomiting because of strong odors. Or they could even taste if you change the tortilla, like that's a different brand, right? Or maybe clothes are itchy. So helping them to maybe cut out labels in clothes or fabric softener, making clothes softer. They might even get dizzy on swings or in the car. High sensitivity. Low sensitivity, right? They might not wake up if the fire alarm detector goes off, or they could stay asleep when you vacuum near them, right? They might not notice if you give them whole milk or 2%. And they might really like sudden activities like swinging high, being thrown in the air, right? So high sensitivity, they need respect for their preference and try to minimize stimulus. Help them to know, okay, if think of fire engines coming, you might want to close your eyes. As I mentioned, buying clothes maybe without labels, and maybe not forcing them to swing or climb, just helping them to understand how they can have fun and participate. With low sensitivity, help notice external signals, right? So listening, right, to looking at your brother's face, is that the sound of an ambulance, right? Noticing what might be sounds of alert, or what color is that traffic light, right? What do these flowers smell like? So helping them to notice signals. Initial reaction, right? It refers to initial response in new places, new situations, and things. So initial approach, right? Like this child, you walk by, she doesn't know you, but she greets you, right? So trying new things, doesn't protest too much to new situations, tries new ideas and foods, plays with kids in the park that they might not know. They learn by doing. Initial withdrawal, maybe reluctant at first, might say, no, I don't want to play with other kids. Meet someone on the street that you know, and their initial response might be to hide behind you, right? So they learn more by watching, thinking about what initial approach and initial withdrawal needs. Initial approach needs maybe to learn to be cautious, right? Provide rules and close supervision. I know with our children, it was, you can talk to people when mom, dad are around that you don't know, but when we're not around, you may not talk to someone until you're an adult, right? So teach them to think things through, right? Do you know those children? Do you know that gentleman? Is this a good idea? Help them. And then initial withdrawal also needs time. So time to adjust to a new situation. If we push, that might take longer, right? So help them to gradually, I'll be here with you until you feel comfortable, for example. Adaptability describes how easily one adjusts to changes and transitions. So highly adaptable. They adapt easily, very flexible. Like the first day of kindergarten, bye. Follow kids to the activity. Low adaptability might take some time. May not like surprises, might not like new activities. They might cry for 2 weeks when you leave them at preschool. So in thinking about what do they need, high adaptability, learn to think before they act. Again, do you want to do what your brother is doing? Or what do you want to do? Maybe you want to do something else, right? Low adaptability, giving them advance notice, giving them time, letting them know, tomorrow after we go to sleep and wake up, we're going to go to story time, and Miss Maria is not going to be there. There's going to be a new teacher, right? Let them get used to a new babysitter or a new situation, maybe doing a drive-by first. Then with persistence refers to a period of time that one continues in an activity in the face of obstacles. High persistence, look at this little boy climbing all those stairs. Low persistence might mean maybe gets easily frustrated and wants to go to something new. So for example, high persistence, not very easily frustrated. They might really try to get that last piece of the puzzle in or climb all those stairs and just continue even though something is difficult. Low persistence, drop a toy, can't find it, pick up another toy, right? Or can't make things work together, just try something new, wrap something else. So what do they need? High persistence, develop flexibility, and let them know when transitions might be happening, right? Because again, they really stick to it. So in 5 minutes, we're going to leave. You can climb the slide 2 more times, and then we're going to have to go. And also letting them know that they don't have to be perfect, because sometimes perfection is something that can drive persistence, that it's okay to try. For low persistence, encourage efforts, right? Help break down tasks into smaller steps. And maybe, for example, let's look at 2 letters and then have a drink of juice, and encourage effort. And then mood. So thinking about mood refers to the amount of pleasant, cheerful, friendly behavior, or analytical, more serious presentation. So a positive mood, maybe the child is happy, maybe doesn't cry too much, right? Seems to be in a good mood, wakes up happy. And a more serious mood, maybe they wake up crying, serious, very analytical, maybe sees flaws or analyzes. For example, if you say, we're going to go to Disneyland, they might say something like, isn't that far? Right? So what do they need? So learn to express all kinds of feelings for positive mood, that it's okay to maybe giving them words for sadness, anger, fear, right? Allowing them to play, maybe talking about different feelings, and they're all okay. And then with serious analytical mood, maybe seeing the positive side, right? So understanding that it's okay to have all kinds of feelings too, and maybe model positive interactions, okay? So in thinking about mood and all the rest of the temperaments, we could ask ourselves, right? So again, we might not be able to change a temperament, but giving that message that all temperaments are okay, right? What message do we send? When we learn our child's temperament, we could respond to them in our parenting and help them to fit in and move through the world, right? So for example, high energy, let's do something to expend that energy. And when they're older, they could realize I have high energy. Let me work out, right? So sending the message that the way we react to temperament can send that message. So focusing on sending the message that it's okay to be you. And what we accomplish by learning our child's temperament is how to adjust our parenting. So wait a minute, what happens if we realize, boy, my child's temperament and my temperament are really, really different? So again, research shows that parents and caregivers, when they identify their child's temperament, they can start to identify their strengths and needs and can tailor their parenting to be compatible to their children. So not that parents and caregivers have to change their natural way of being, have to change their temperament, but modify and find methods that can care for the individual temperaments that you might notice, supporting their child's natural way of responding to the world. And that's through something called goodness of fit, right? So that's going to be a handout that you have. There's two handouts, one focusing on infants, one focusing on toddlers, and it's through Head Start. And you could take a questionnaire and see how you and your child might be in kind of compatible, in sync with different temperaments, and where you might be at different ranges, and how us as parents can adjust that fit to support our child's growth and development. Okay, so there's two scales that's part of your handouts. Some of these traits are more or less consistent with academic success in classroom setting. Yeah, so again, some traits depending on the classroom setting, right? So if it's a strict setting, some traits might respond. If it's more of a, I think of a Montessori type, I know my children went to an alternative school. It wasn't quite Montessori, but it was more free-flowing activities. So again, maybe if you can, finding the right educational setting for your child. If you notice that they might need a different type of setting to learn. So that can help with home and help you advocate for what your child might need. Thank you. Any other thoughts about temperament? Okay, let's talk, as we're coming to an end. Boy, the time went by really fast. Just want to talk about some words about the pandemic and about child development, right? So over the past 3 years, we have witnessed just unbelievable challenges for children and parents to compound on some pre-existing challenges already, right? So thanks to ACEs, right, adverse childhood experiences studies, we know that experiences and trauma conflicts can have an impact on future health and even brain's ability to develop and learn, right? So we could infer that the pandemic can create risk factors or magnify them for healthy growth and development of our children. But what's been surfacing is that even on the slide, serious infectious diseases such as COVID-19 can cause mental health problems in children, and that more is needed to study this topic, right? Or it's too early to draw meaningful interpretations. So several studies are underway to determine the impact of the pandemic on growth, but a lot of the results are inconclusive right now. So not all studies show the same results. Some earlier findings might have been unpublished, right? Or may not reflect reality. So just an overall of what we know, it might still be too early to know exactly what the effects of the pandemic has on child development long-term. Yes.
I attended a workshop, and it was around speech and the impact that COVID-19 had, around child development in speech. And it was interesting. I learned that the use of masks for a lot of children had an impact because they were not able to see, read lips. And it's something that I didn't think about, and how more children were at home quarantined, and so they had less exposure to socialization with children. And so there is some kind of things that have already been noticed, and working with families, I see that a lot of speech. And so
Yeah, and there's some, again, there's some, just looking at some research, there are a lot of factors that we know that children need interaction, they need to interact with one another, they need to see, but a lot of these studies might not be what's the long-term effects, right? So again, there's some, of course, people want to understand what's going on, but there's a lot that might still be unknown of the long-term effects. So again, keeping that in mind. So again, just taking it with a grain of salt. So that's still a lot that we don't know, right? Some short-term effects, but what are the long-term effects? But just want to talk about what we do know. Okay, so some things are still up in the air. I'm so glad that there is that when you went to that training about speech. But again, what is it over the long term, right? So again, maybe some pieces are coming together, but what we do know is that studies highlight that the role of parents and caregivers, what they have to support and protect their children, right? So providing the necessary affection, security, bonds, secure attachment that we talked about earlier during this global crisis. So again, we know that parents, caregivers can be that shield to protect their children from stress. So we talked about secure attachments. When they experience danger, fear, stress, parents and caregivers can be that refuge of safety and source of comfort to protect their children from the damages of toxic stress. And parents and caregivers can offer children and help them in their need for optimal development. So again, we mentioned brain development, that our children's brains are malleable. So even if young brains have been affected by the pandemic, there's still time, right? There's still time to help keep and get children back on track. So again, realizing and get some of these pieces to the puzzle might highlight, like what you were saying, boy, with mouth being covered, there could be, maybe we need to emphasize really speech, right? How to interaction. But again, some of the studies might not be conclusive, but it's nice to see that some of the pieces are coming together. But we do know the impact that parents have on their children, right? So early intervention is crucial. Again, with early intervention, noting what some of the guidelines say, anticipated expected behavior, having good counsel of pediatrician, childcare providers, teachers, knowing for yourself, your child, can all be ways to support our children. And the earlier we can catch something, the more we can do. So what can we do? So again, when we talked about the 3 trainings, offer security, affection, and someone had mentioned the opportunity to play. When safe, right? We have to know what is safe for our children. So playing with other children, interacting with adults, opportunities to be in different environments, and again, safety first. Doing reciprocal interactions, talking about your day, exchanging, right, ideas, kind of broadcasting, almost like being a broadcaster, what you're doing can help with language development when you do have your mask off, right? So having children experiences, singing, reading, narrating daily activities, dancing together, getting all of your senses involved can help with learning. And finding information and support, like we had mentioned, the CDC, Help Me Grow, Alameda County First 5, community centers, pediatrician, just a gamut of people that can help. The apps we talked about, teachers, doctors, taking your children for regular checkups. So again, video calls and video appointments are fantastic. We want that connection, but also it might not replace the benefits of a pediatrician weighing, observing, checking our babies and toddlers. So just keeping that in mind. And then taking care of ourselves as people who are in the lives of children. So taking care of yourself so you can be a shield of the toxic stress that children might be experiencing or are experiencing. So taking care of ourselves, self-care, self-compassion, right? As childcare providers, as providers, encouraging parents and caregivers and maybe helping them to understand the importance of self-care if they're open. And that also means we take care of ourselves. We role model what self-care is and maybe share stories of what we do to take care of ourselves so parents can know that it's okay to take care of ourselves, right? Sometimes parents get the message that self-care is selfish, right? But really it's fuel, like putting fuel in your car. That's what self-care can do for us. Okay. So I just want to stop right now for any final questions, comments, and feedback. Thank you so much. And Diane wrote, local libraries, children's librarians are great resources, even have take-home materials to lend. Yes, that's a great resource. Libraries are amazing. And I'm so glad they're open. It was really sad when they were closed for a while, but they are a fantastic resource. So I do want to stop and have final questions, comments, and feedback. And thank you for that resource. Just want to highlight again what we had mentioned. This PowerPoint, you're going to get a copy of it. And also look out for, if you're concerned about development, one of the handouts, how to get help for your child. I think I mentioned that earlier. And it gives some fantastic ideas, step by step, of what you can do. And then those 2 goodness of fit questionnaires for parents and their children. So you can see maybe what aspects of temperament to focus on to support your children's strengths and needs. And as we're coming to an end, I just want to say thank you. But are there any final questions, comments, or feedback? Oh, thank you. Thank you. I enjoyed this training series. Thank you. Me too. I love being here with you all. Fantastic questions and beautiful opportunity to share information. Trina, I learned a lot. You have a nice, soothing voice. Oh, thank you. Thank you. That is very kind of you to say that. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So again, as we're coming to an end, just want to thank everyone. And again, look out for some of the resources, CDC. If there's something you've worried about, Regional Center, Help Me Grow, and the apps we talked about, and then all of the sources that we used. And I want to say thank you for being here. And please take care of yourselves. And please take care of the children in your life. And I hope to see you at another training. Bye-bye.